So to handle the first rendering on page load, what I would do is I would go into my main, okay, and I would do it. You could either do it before the event listener. That doesn't quite matter as much because on page load, everything gets read through. So what we'd want to do here, since we already have render table, right, is we just call render table there. Now, we do need to pass, just like we do here, the reference to what comes in from local storage, right? So we'd say the data. Now, let's see if that fixes the first one. A little easier to fix. Yay! So when we refresh, it does come back, which is awesome, right? So now what we're going to think about is how do we handle when it, because in edit, what happens, right? So let's go look at our edit. So when it says render, right, on our edit and on our delete. I'd said this before, so now's probably the perfect time to think about we're doing the same commands, the same JavaScript expressions here. So first, what do we need to add, right? So if we spliced here the data reference, which we know is CFP data, it's just a reference to it. What do we do before we render it? Well, and on both of them actually, this would be true. We would call save ls data. Same line. But what do we need for that? What do we need, right? Well, it's not in global, right? So we'd have to say that's why I wanted to possibly use global CFP data from storage, right? Oh, so actually no. I'm sorry. It wouldn't be CFP data. It'd be what? Save ls. Which actually brings up the other reason I've been talking about this is to change this reference. But for now, I don't want to do too much change. Let's do one last thing here. We now have 3 lines we've repeated on both of these. It is time we wrote a function. So function, I'd call it on update because either way, either it's a delete or it's an edit, we're updating something, right? And if we copied in these lines, copy, then what do we need inside? What do we need to pass to it? Well, we need to pass the data reference. We also need the index. Okay, so those are the 2 things we need. Oh, we didn't even test that, by the way. We probably should have tested it first. That'd been good. We'll test it on the edit, on the delete, and then we'll go back and do this. So in this case, I'd call on update, and I'd pass it the index, comma, data. Nice and sweet. Okay. This is so easy. Let's just copy this, right? We'll test both. Get rid of those. See if that works. Let's see if I've messed anything up. Oh, we know our render still works. So now, does the first one delete? It does delete. And when we delete, does it bring back? Yeah, it does. And when we hit edit, we know notice it popped right off. Popped is not the right answer. It's spliced out. Okay, so now when we know we can update that, oh, we get it back, which is awesome. And we can delete as many as we want. And when we delete the last one, there's nothing in there, right? We hit refresh, it doesn't redo anything. So now we know we have correctly, right? We've created a new function to handle, and what we've added into the event listener is the save data. So this is really where you start to benefit from writing modular code so that you can just use it in places you would need it. Okay? Storage. Okay. All right, so I think now that's going to be all we have, not all, for this one. And I think what we're going to do for the discussion this week is actually what Daniel suggested, which is we're going to write validation code instead of using the HTML. At least 2 examples, I think. All right, see you over at the discussion. Hope you had fun with this. You'll have a commit on this one for updating code or not. It should be not or not from watching solution, right? Okay.